know you are a very musical lady, so we're finishing off this week with some great music.
That's right. Today's guest, two members of a fairly new quartet, boast unique sound of progressive bluegrass. We have Jason Wheeler and Joey Schultz. They're half of the quartet of Fauxgrass. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, you're playing my favorite instrument, the mandolin.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us about your musical style.
It'd be progressive bluegrass, kind of mixing genres, different genres, whether it's jazz, bluegrass, blues, classical, just progressive, a progressive style take on bluegrass that we've come up with all of our different styles.
Now, how did you all get into, the mandolin and your instruments and become a group?
Pretty much kind of like pulling on the name and our style of music, to go along with it is basically like we were all coming from different areas, not necessarily playing traditional bluegrass music. So a lot of these instruments that we've picked up have been from, in that we play, we've studied with other folks, mentors of ours who are in that traditional world. So these instruments apply, but we're just kind of pulling them into a more modern setting, basically.
Okay,
so
cool.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you perform really all over, but especially you're kind of coming off a big festival season, because here in Michigan we get these beautiful summers that lend themselves out to these outdoor music experiences.
Yep. Definitely, yeah. And so we kind of highlighted the tail end of the summer here. Our recent stuff was the Earthworks Harvest Gathering, which is a big festival up in Lake City. That was toward the end of September, and then we came back home and played a couple of big shows, and then Art Prize kicked off. And so the Fauxgrass Quartet, we did 15 shows in the three Saturdays that basically anchored, kicked off and anchored.
7 in one day. It was,
wow.
It was intense.
So when you do that kind of show, what are you standing on the street corner, or what do you do?
There's a lot of like art galleries and Billy's and bigger shows at night and stuff like that.
So what we were doing is basically coming down in the morning, and we would do things like we played at Rusty, which was number 5, so which was a friend of ours, and so we'd play at places like that during the day, and then progress into indoor at night, and then into a bar for our late night show, and then there'd end up being somebody do a 1 a.m. gig that we would end up playing.
Wow.
So we pretty much would go from 10 a.m. till about 3 in the morning, all through Art Prize and play. So
that is really great.
Now, what's the song you're going to be playing for us today?
It's a tune of mine that I wrote called Chapel Pond. It is, I wrote it, I spent my middle school and high school years in Lake Placid, New York, at a school there, and it's about a pond that I fell in love with. I spent a lot of time ice climbing on it, swimming, kayaking, ice skating, everything you could possibly imagine a kid would do at a pond.
Fantastic. And before we let you go, you're performing in the Van Morrison tribute concert.
I am, yeah. That's going to be Saturday, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Doors open at 7:15.
St. Cecilia.
St. Cecilia. It's going to be Mark Vandenberg is singing Van Morrison, and Ed Clifford's doing all the arrangements. There'll be a bunch of the symphony there. It's going to be quite a blast.
Fantastic. All right, you guys, take it away.
Thank you very much.
That's really cool. So you're usually barefoot.